Wait, so have you uploaded any more videos to your YouTube channel?
I have not, but I'll try work on some maybe like this Thursday.
Uh,
There's a lot of videos, and some of them is just like shit audio quality, and I don't know. Oh yeah, also like at some point I edited some videos, I just could not encode them because I had problems with the encoder, and yeah.
Hmm.
But I should be able to continue from like now until like very long from now on. There's a few videos that I want to get, and I want to get rid of a lot of it, like videos maybe without looking into them. I'm not sure. Because editing videos is just a lot of effort, to be honest. Sometimes it's just I want to do other stuff as well, you
Yeah, I
know.
remember I used to like when I was like I don't know 20 years old, 19, something like that. I used to do like funny YouTube edits. Um, there was one video, right, and I think it lasted something like 2.5 minutes, and it took me like two whole hours, 3 hours to like
Yeah,
snip up at exactly the right time to edit in the sound bites at the right time. Um, it was
yeah,
funny as hell. It was definitely worth it, but there's like a 1 to 60 effort to reward ratio. As in, for every minute of edited video, you putting in. Well, it took me an hour.
yeah.
Something stupid like that. Maybe half an hour.
Eh. Uh,
Um.
I think I think I want to focus more on like the content of us actually discussing, actual shit. Sadly, I did not manage to record. I thought you would probably like it if I put the story of the homeless guy, as in it would
I
probably
don't really
be.
mind.
The problem is that was not recorded. Uh, Sadly. Uh, so I think like in general is that it's like sometimes it's not that the like yes there is a problem with like people preventing you from being able to help them, but also sometimes the
Hmm.
problem is also everyone around them like sort of attitude also prevents them from entrusting the people around them to actually be helpful towards them because of whatever bracket they're in, and that tension also exists like in between politically people who have like a lot of political differences and such like they they cannot agree on political issues, for example. They may not be able, which
Hmm.
generally this currently when you say political usually people actually mean like moral standings on some things. Like I find it actually confusing that people have shifted the moral landscape to be called politics now. um it's like, no,
Yeah. Well, that's what it
retard,
is to them. It's
go
like
study like the basics of
my.
logic like it will take you literally a week to finish that. You should be able to understand like what you're talking about. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's this like tribalism thing again, where people associate themselves and their group with like the correct tribe, and everything other than like outside of the boundary that they've decided on is wrong and must
See,
be attacked and destroyed.
here's what I think like about tribalism. Like in an abstract sense, I think tribalism is alright. As in, these are the people I belong, I belong to, if you will. We agree on these things. We think we're right. All of that, and I'm gonna stick to these people. The problem is that um, I'm too retarded to be able to talk to the or negotiate with the other tribes. Um,
Yeah, because it reminds me of Rust. Like when you've got your base and you're like roof camping people through the window
uh,
when they're running past, and you can actually negotiate with your neighbors to say like, look, we'll sort you out, you sort us out, and we can like if you're gonna get a raid, we'll come and like defend you as you're raiding, or if you're getting raided, we'll come defend
Yeah,
you. We'll attack counter attack, whatever. You can like
yeah,
negotiate even in what is essentially like the most toxic internet environment, aside from maybe like League of Legends or I don't know. But people these days are just I don't fucking know.
I because um like I think that's one of the biggest problems is that sometimes when I'm dealing with people like on the internet, it's like, hey, I have like I have a specific set of beliefs, if you want to call it that, and I'm not necessarily here to stand up against you because it's not what I'm trying to do. But I also like there are some things that I cannot compromise on, and
Mm.
you cannot just force me to compromise on X, Y, and Z stuff. Like these things are non-negotiable, but I'm willing to keep these things like the things that we disagree on, keep them entirely out of the conversation. I'm willing to not bring out the handgun during the picnic.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're like it feels right now, especially like remember that the whole like political thing that happened in the technical society, the thing that I mentioned with Linux, where one guy was prevented from uploading his work to the public because he had a different political stance. Um, and what happened is it's like I genuinely cannot believe that this had to be discussed in like a relatively famous YouTube like guy when it comes to that specific society. Is that I think people at Linux have to find a way to deal with people who don't agree with them. It's like was that not the first? Was that not like the main mentality to begin with? You're gonna find people you don't agree with, and you're literally gonna have to put your differences to the side 99% of the time so that you can
Mm.
work with the others.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's
So it's just that like all the time now it feels, and now they call it political. I'm like, this just pisses me off. Uh, it is what it is. And I think it's like there's the things that you can just, I guess, at least bring to attention. Maybe I know, like I have fucking only what 200 subscribers or something like that. For me, that's a big number. That's more than the amount of friends I ever had at once. So go figure. Uh,
because if you imagine 200 people in one room, that
that's a big
is
room.
that's a lot of
Hello.
people. Yeah, it's a big like my school. Who was that?
I don't know. They stood there and looked at us. He's standing there,
Yeah, my
menacing.
school. Like there's in my year, right? At
Mm,
the end of the school, there was like 6 classes with 30 kids in each class, which is 180 kids. And when they did like an awards ceremony, they had us all sit in one room, and it
yeah,
was like a fairly big room. Like you look around, you see like a lot of people, and they're all sitting there. Like that's 200 people, or 180.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, 200. If you visualize 200 people,
'cause again, I don't mind putting on random stuff on my channel, but I also don't want the random stuff for like us being retarded to be the main idea of the channel. It's like,
yeah,
hey, I do these few things, and I try to use my brain cells, 2 brain cells, every now and then. That's about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I guess I'm genuinely interested on like seeing how much I guess work I can do with people that I don't agree with. You know.
Because I'm more than happy to talk to people about stuff that I don't agree with. I was kind of having a conversation with the guy in the drawing world about the problem of kiddies overtaking VR. And my stance was basically the opposite of his, in that VR should be marketed towards, let's say, like, maybe 18 plus, like 18 to 35, something like that, where kids are allowed, but they're not prioritized. They have their own section of the game, more or less separate from the adults.
Yeah.
But they can still enjoy VR, but they can still be here, like, even if they're fucking 10 years old. But just heavily moderated. Like no TVs, nothing other than like maybe a fallback avatar to prevent them from being exposed from like the fucking e-girl bullshit
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, because that is
And then once you
just
turn 18, you're
yeah.
allowed. And his stance on this issue is like, when you're in a room with kids, you need to like watch your tongue so you don't swear around them. Like, you need to moderate your, like, they can just run around, scream and draw the pen, like, you know, fuck around, be kids, and you need to babysit them. I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, the
Yeah.
parents need to do the babysitting, and I'm here to have fun on my game. I'm not going to do your job and be like a surrogate parent. So we calmly had a discussion. It wasn't an
Yeah.
argument. Well, it was an argument in the sense that I was arguing a point and so was he.
Hello.
And we didn't come to a conclusion. We basically just said, like, this is what I think. And that was it. We just had a discussion, which is fine. But
Good
these
evening.
days you can't.
Oh, never mind. I
What?
heard a voice.
What is this?
Yeah, I can see your below your skirt because it's barely doing its job as a skirt. But uh, hello. Uh, so I think that was like one of my main problems with VR chat for the most part as well. Is that you can't fucking talk 2 words without someone just apparently not wanting you to talk anymore. It's like, piece of shit. I have like 2 brain cells, and I'm just trying to exercise what I have left. So why can't you just shut the fuck up and go somewhere else, for example?
哎，他手上好像有声音，但是我不知道，是我错觉吗？
I don't know. I just think it's bad social skills.
Because I still have like these friends, just like some of the people in that server. Like I told them, I remember telling him one time, it's like,
No no
I was
no，
like, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I really do not think you possess the ability to discuss the things that I discuss. It's like, wow, you calling me stupid? I'm like, yeah, way to fucking throw my point out of the window.
Hmm.
I don't like, I could bring up like about the billionth time he decided to,
对，
bring this handgun out, in the picnic. It's just like I'm just sitting here, just talking about some random shit, and for no reason he starts giving me shits for like things that I believe. I think I probably told you about that before.
嗯，
I'm like, bro, you
If
can't
you have,
just,
I can't remember.
yeah, you can't do that. It's like he's like trying to call me out. So I basically flipped it on him. It's like, sure, make your fucking case, and he was not able to. I was like, okay, I mean, if you don't want to fucking like, don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house, dipshit.
Yeah.
And that happens quite a lot. Like a lot of people
Yeah, I
would
don't.
would be very uncomfortable discussing some stuff with that. Like there was a time where remember the whole time I was just discussing what do you call it? What is the most uncomfortable shit I discussed with someone on the internet was like related to, you know,
Probably age of
yeah,
consent
age
that
of consent. I
triggers
like,
everyone.
yeah, I like it's just a number. Convince me otherwise, and I had a discussion on it. Now, if I say that in a specific type of setting, everyone will go fucking mayhem and just start yelling at me, calling me a pedo and all of that. Which, you know, this is why you don't go on Reddit. But like my genuine stance on it is that how do you fucking tell? Like honestly, like if we're going to have the measuring stick, why is it the measuring stick rather than any other measuring stick? Uh, and it's not necessarily me saying that I want to I don't know, like fuck children, which is usually what they start accusing you of. It's like you ask a question, it's like, I wonder how nuclear power plant works. Like, do you want to blow the whole world up? It's like, no, dipshit, that's not how this shit works. uh, yeah. And that's why I got discouraged, if you want to call it, from even pretending that anyone here just have two brain cells. Because definitely that's not the only thing I discuss with people. It's just,
Yeah.
I guess, it's just one way to see if. I guess because like some people made it like clear to me, it's like, hey, I'm not comfortable discussing this topic, so can we not discuss it? I'm like, sure, I won't discuss it with you. And that's just me putting,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay, there's some things that I probably won't be able to talk about with this person. I don't have to shove it down their throat. At the same time, I expect the same back, where like they don't have to shove their shit down my throat.